my God, what is going on, you degenerate bastards? Not just the panel, all you sons of bitches out there. Man, it's been forever since we've done one of these. But tonight, we got something really, really special for all of you. My man over here, Beer Time Scott, and I talked about it this weekend. We went, let's do an old school, no bullshit wrestling live feed and have some fun. Why not? That's what tonight's about. We've got a lot to unpack. Let's just get into it. You guys, introduce yourselves. That's Kimmo, Human Siri. The weird guy down there, you know him. He's not Cousin Joe no more.
This is not Beer Talk, Joe.
This is self-explanatory right there. That's all you need to know.
Not exactly sure where to point, but this is from Cedric at Beard Justice.
Joe has another name, but we don't call him that for the public to know what that is.
Legally, we can't.
Yeah, Chris hasn't given me my fee and my Venmo yet, so I'm going to be short of words until I get my celebrity payment.
We're on a word-by-word contract.
What up, Chris Rayner? Good to see you again. Hope you're being safe out there, man. TV, how's it going?
You know, this is one of the very first times that Joe has made an appearance in a very long time. So
missing all this.
Do you know what his rider was? That's all I'm going to say. He's fucking spendy, but still. All right, we'll get these other two out of the way and we'll get this thing going. What up, Joshua Ricks? How you doing, man? Chef.
Bearded Metal Guy. Or not Bearded Metal Guy.
Bearded Metal Chef.
Bearded Metal Chef.
There's another metal guy, right?
That's right, Steven.
That metal guy.
All right, let's kick this one off with a really, really hot topic. This one, I'm curious to see what you guys see. The latest rumor, free agent, the hot topic. Where's Becky Lynch going to sign?
Nowhere.
WWE.
We all know the answer to this question.
I wish this topic was as hot as it should be. If wrestling free agency was like NFL free agency, like with a lot of legitimacy of a big star potentially going somewhere else would be awesome. But I think it's too obvious that Becky is coming back to WWE.
What I would give for her to get a run in Japan.
Yeah.
We may see that one day, but I will say this. When I say she's not going anywhere, she's not going anywhere for a while. She's taking a break. The woman, come on, let's think about it. She was supposed to disappear. She comes back and wins the title for him. She's like their Moxley, so to say. Let's just look at it that way. That's what she did for the past month or so. But look at what this woman has done in the last 4 years of her life. Had a baby, or gave up the belt because she was pregnant. Wins it right back when she makes her return. They're almost pissed off, and she makes this shitty character, which I don't care what y'all say. I can't stand that big-time Beck shit. I think it's fucking horrible. It's my opinion. But she's been like the top-tier notch. They made her come down for a little bit. She had to find herself and all this and that and this and that. They just weren't using her. She's going to take a little bit of a break because she just wrote a book, did a book tour, and now she's going to reflect on it and say, okay, where am I going to go? She has that option, but her handles on social media tell you where she's going to be. She hasn't changed them.
But a lot of that, look at when Mercedes Moné left, and God, I can't remember her name, the glow-up chick.
Naomi.
Yeah.
They still had their handles as WWE for a while, you know?
Trinity Fatu has been Trinity Fatu since she was in the WWE. She never changed.
Shark, click your bitch ass on the link and get in here and talk, man. Come on, Shark. Come out of retirement. We got Joe. We need you, motherfucker.
He may be coming home from work. He might be driving home from work.
Don't offend him. No. He's going to expect
Been
that.
on one in a car before.
But
Yes, he has. That is true. He has.
And I like what you brought up, though, about Becky. I think Bubba Ray said it best. The World Wrestling Entertainment dropped the ball seriously when they just handed her the belt. Because you had the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. I think it's absolute BS that, Rhea had to give up the belt, seeing how long did, the Tribal Chief go in between defense. They could have built so much more up there, you know?
Yes, but Rhea's injury could have been something more serious than we know, and they're not letting it out for privacy reasons. But what I mean is, they probably couldn't have hidden that on camera. Maybe she has a sling or something we don't know about, or a cast or whatever. There's some things you can't hide.
It wouldn't be the first time you have oh my God, there's an incident in the back. Get a camera back there. And you have someone laying on the floor, you know?
NXT does it every week.
The NXT parking lot's the most dangerous place in all of wrestling.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to be walking there alone.
Who calls all that ruckus? All ego. That was so great. So great.
Gosh, that's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's another best kept secret that no one expected him to do that, because he just straight up out of Ring of Honor, out of AEW, never heard from. Boom, he shows up. That was awesome. That was well hidden.
Sometimes they get to pull stuff off, which leads me to the next thing that I thought. Oh, just got home and getting in bed. Oh, Sharky, do you need some cuddles? Do you need some cuddles?
That means he's taking his shirt off. Sure, go ahead.
Got to go into bed with all them throw pillows.
Yeah, no, I've seen the taco meat. It's scary. So you stay off camera, Shark. Stay off camera. Which leads me to the next thing because we mentioned AEW. Camo, I'm going to direct this one right at you, dude.
Right.
Well, you're our AEW mark.
You are our AEW guy. There's no denying that.
I can't help it. I like good wrestling, okay?
Do you think AEW is the next WCW? And this is how I'm prefacing this. All these big-time contracts and wrestlers don't want to work, a la Jack Perry.
Okay. Jack Perry might be the comeback wrestler of the year. He's doing wonderful.
Drunk?
That guy did something in Japan, and Japan did something to him, and he came back, and it's working. That dude had the number one selling shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees for 2 months, constantly sold out.
Mm-hmm.
It was working. The whole smug new elite with my favorite wrestler of all time, Kazuchika Okada, and the Young Bucks.
Okada. Who's that?
Just dumb.
No, I will say, now that I have watched him, the man is good. But go ahead.
But this whole smug elite, I think it's working out so well. I really think so. Again, Okada being heel for probably one of the first couple times ever is incredible. They bought him a Lamborghini. What's more heel than that?
Yeah.
Their shoes are sold out. I think they released 2,000 pair of shoes with Reebok, and they're gone. And I wasn't a big fan of these shoes, but the first shoes they released, the Diodoras, were incredible.
Okay, but you mentioned the Young Bucks, and let me counter you with this. They're destroying that organization. Look at what they've done. Who would you rather have on your main stage headlining a pay-per-view? Jack Perry or CM Punk?
That is a loaded question, because I'm not.
Can I interject for when you say they're destroying it? Do you mean you actually think they're destroying it, or they're doing it in kayfabe?
See, okay, that's a good point.
Because if you're saying that they are destroying the company in kayfabe for the purpose of, I don't want to say their own version of being Vince McMahon, because there hasn't been an identified Stone Cold, I guess you can say, but they're definitely trying to be that corrupt, higher end,
the higher power
EVPs, the higher power. So
okay, I'll give you the higher power, but the security tape, did it help them or hurt them?
There's no point. We talked about that in the Killer Cool So Super Secret Wrestling chat. Y'all don't know nothing about. That was never no point for that whatsoever. And nothing good of that came.
See, and I think the opposite. I think it helped out Jungle Boy a lot. I really think it did. I don't know how exactly, but that was the catalyst of him. Like
G-Lib.
selling out the shirts. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, but like I said, who would you rather have? Jungle Boy really hasn't been anything. Like, I will say it point blank, Hook needs to get the fuck out of AEW, get his ass to NXT, and learn something other than my dumb ass goes through a car. Jack Perry's turning around and going, look at what Mick Foley did. Look at Mick Foley. And Mick has come out and go, don't be dumb like I was. Look at my body. Look at me. I can barely function.
Jack Perry has I want to word this right. I'm not saying it in a bad, like, negative. Jack Perry has had a target on his back ever since all that stuff happened. He's had a target forever, but he's embraced it because it's pretty obvious he was suspended / left off of TV for the reason, for those reasons. That's obvious. He went to New Japan with the fuck AEW type of story, and it worked. It made him a star there, and they knew it. So what they're doing is they're taking that star and bringing them to AEW with everybody knows what all's happened. So that's why he's the man to hit their president. Why not? Because that was his favorite star. Okay, boom, I'm going to knock you out. And it worked. And look what happened at the pay-per-view. Jack Perry throws him down the ramp, but then nothing happened of it because they put the attention back on something else. But that's going to come back sooner or later. That will happen again. Jack Perry will mess with Tony Khan. It's not going to stop. That's for the story that they're building for that, because it's never going to go away. And I think they're making Jack Perry the big star here. In the end, Jack Perry is the one who gets the biggest attention of all this, whatever that may be.
Yeah, but like Mo said, and I will agree with him on this, AEW has been stocking up on talent. Now, is it good purchases? I'll bring up Mercedes Moné in a moment, because I don't think she's done jack shit since she's gone to AEW. But AEW creative, Arn Anderson just left, Mark Henry just left. Other people
okay. Mark, 60-year-old Mark Henry left. Come on.
Yeah. Arn Anderson's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Arn Anderson left. I mean,
he will be Cody Rhodes' manager. That's going to happen.
And here's the thing. No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Never.
Doing well, G.
Yeah. And G, I saw your comment. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, dude, Wyatt, man, I can't believe he's going to be 2 already in a couple weeks. And you better believe I am a proud papa. He is so fucking awesome, man. So thank you, G. I really appreciate that. So I want to go back to Mercedes. You have to remember, when they signed her, she was still hurt. Her ankle wasn't ready, and they pushed it as long as they could until she was finally ready. Now, what I think they did that kind of made you have this mindset of her is we all know that she's never been a great promo.
No.
So when you are asking her to start off in a new company by having her do the only thing that she can do, which is her weakness, and cut promos, it didn't make for a good start. But that Willow and Sasha match was fucking awesome.
Statler
loved it.
Get shot to the moon too.
Yeah, Mercedes did not lose a step. Willow, somebody that I hope we have time to talk about a little later, was great. And then Mercedes follow-up match on Dynamite with Sky Blue, I think it was. Yeah.
I think so.
Dude, great TV match. So she didn't lose a step in ring. You're going to see how effective Mercedes is going to be when it comes to in-ring talent. I don't know if AEW is going to be the place that's going to help her with promos, because I think a lot of people in that company struggle with promos. But You're going to see some good in-ring work, and you know how much she's going to advocate for that women's division because that's why she left WWE. And if she wasn't satisfied with their division, she's going to keep AEW on a short leash, and she's going to hold them accountable on giving women more time in the ring and helping that division develop because they got some talent too.
And I find it funny how you mentioned promos because I'm going to stir the pot a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Self-confessed, I haven't watched as much AEW as I should. I really haven't been watching since Ruby Soho is on the shelf with being pregnant. I don't care. She's still hot as fuck.
I was there live when they announced that because that was an indie when they announced it.
Yeah,
she got pregnant. Camo, really?
When they announced it, hush.
But if you're talking about promos, here's somebody I think got overpaid for his promo ability as opposed to in-ring ability.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't say it. Because I know who you're about to say, and he is so freaking good in the ring.
Let it out.
Don't have to, because he's better than you, and you know it.
He's my scumbag.
That man, I don't watch AEW. I only watch it when we watch the pay-per-views. So you keep that in mind. That man is the face of the company without being the face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
That's his promo work. Tell me more about his match work because I haven't seen that much.
His match work is
legendary.
He's the best promo in that company. That's just my opinion.
Hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain.
You know what I will say. You know who's right behind him?
Hangman.
Eddie Kingston.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Kingston or John Moxley. Moxley, he's good.
But you know why? Because Moxley and especially Eddie is the guy that you can truly relate to as a fan.
Right.
The way he looks, no offense to, how he looks physically, but just, the way he talks and, when he talks about struggles and all that shit, he's talking about real life stuff. It ain't
he's essentially
stuff.
He's
truly pissed at the world.
He's like the millennial Stone Cold in all honesty.
He is.
With your God.
Stone Cold was never the in-ring guy. He was always a brawler that talked.
Yep.
That's Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, but when you said the millennial, I'm just thinking Stone Cold with 2 lattes, smashing them and trying to drink them,
Hell yeah. A couple IPAs here and there.
Unlike Shark Boy with the clam juice. Just saying.
I say MJF is the best promo in AEW all the way around. Mm-hmm. John Moxley is a very close second, but John Moxley is a wrestler who can walk and talk. He can do them both. Where did he learn it from? NXT, Dusty Rhodes. MJF has done it on his own. The man was so good. I did not watch these live. I went back and watched them. The best, this is just my opinion, the best storyline that AEW has put on is him and Punk. Yes.
I disagree.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me finish. That's classic. But when he was champion, he was improving his wrestling skills. Do you know who really put him in that to prove it? Brian. He had to wrestle for an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say that Iron Man match.
It was amazing. To wrestle for an hour because literally to be the man, you got to beat the man. I mean, that's like the golden standard we all have known our lives. He had to wrestle for an hour. He never did that before in his life. Mm-hmm. And look how he won. The typical MJF way. But he proved he could wrestle with probably one of the top 2-3 best wrestlers in the world.
And who would have thought he would be this good and appealing as a face?
Right. He did that promo when we watched it because as Joe even liked my comment when I said that promo has now made him my new favorite wrestler.
But
that right there.
Face or is he that gray area?
He's bought in. I think when him and Cole were first starting off, and I think he was kayfabe and being the face, and I think Cole's injury changed a lot of things. But I think AEW was smart by taking advantage of the fan reaction, and kudos to MJF for being willing to make that adjustment and just rolling with it.
They even did a Hot Ones episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played it so perfect.
Yeah, that was pure comedy.
Yeah.
Now, one more MJF. Do you think his tat is real?
Yes.
Yes, but
And thank God it's in a place that he can cover it. Unlike Cody's.
If it's so real, it's so fucking stupid. AEW, bet on me.
He did it. That's what he meant what he said. I'm all in. How do you prove it? Right there. That right there is staying in character. Right there.
How all in was he? Because if you believe the dirt sheets, which is going to lead us to our next topic, because I'm really curious your guys' thoughts on this one. He went to technical knockout TKO Sports, and went, the new co-art owners of the WWE, and went, I want to come sign with you. My contract's done. I want to be paid as a top 3 guy. And they told him kick rocks. So he turned tail, went right back to AEW, and Tony Khan went, okay, you're now my highest paid star.
Is that true? We didn't really talk about it today. Is it true? I don't know.
Reporting.
$15 million more than Kazuchika Okada.
I don't know.
You know what though? In my opinion, you said it yourself. He's the face of the company. He is homegrown. He should be getting paid more than Okada.
He is the first person on on All In. He's the first match, the first guy to walk out. I don't know if y'all remember that, because I haven't seen the movie yet. MJF is the first person to walk through an AEW curtain.
Yep.
Nice.
And one thing I want to say about MJF real quick, with his in-ring ability, I think him not showing a whole lot is part of his heel personality.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he can do all sorts of stuff that we haven't even seen yet.
Right. That's
because the heels aren't meant to show off. That's a face thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once he delves more into the face side of things, he's going to be doing fucking backflips everywhere.
Especially when he's still sprinkling in the heel tactics.
Let me ask you this,
when he's giving a heel the low blow behind a ref's back, dude, it hits so much different because it makes it much more comedic, because it's like, he's a face, but yet he can't get out of these little heel ways. He's still staying true to himself by still making changes. It's, that's how you're able to do it. Because so right now, I'm trying to think of like a face who went heel that just came off as too try hard. So what's her Fallon Henley right now in NXT, I think is a good example.
Yep.
She was somebody who honestly I think should have gotten drafted into Raw or SmackDown as a face. They split up, the little group that she was in with Briggs and Jensen, and Henley was doing great things, dude. She's an underrated talent in the ring. For some reason they decided to make her heel. Dude, it's boring as sin. She comes off as too try hard.
She had tears in her eyes the night it happened.
But I try to remind myself that NXT, they, as much as they want to put it on a even playing field as Raw and SmackDown, they still call it a developmental show. So it's like, she's got work to do on it, but so far it ain't working.
They want to see what you can do. Like, this is literally, it's a test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. You disagreed. What do you think is the best feud of AEW?
Not necessarily the best feud, but the best story is Hangman against the Elite whenever he first becomes champion. That is my all-time favorite AEW storyline. He's my favorite AEW wrestler.
I'm going to have to go back and check it out just because you're usually correct on things. Okay, human Siri. But
are you talking when his like year to build up to it?
In that the last match he had against Kenny Omega, because I was actually at the Go Home show before that match when Don Callis showed up as a cameraman and they beat the shit out of Hangman.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That is my all-time favorite. I love Hangman. I love the story of the Elite and just how they grew in Japan and like Ring of Honor and the other one. I can't even think of it right now. anyway, but they bet on themselves, and look what happened. They've got AEW now, and Hangman was the main guy for 2 years.
When he comes back, and depending on where Strickland is at, and this whether he's still champion or not, that could go down as the greatest feud and rivalry in AEW. Hangman and Strickland.
My favorite match of last year.
I see Strickland is kind of having the reverse effect for me right now. The name MJF. I wanted Strickland to stay heel because he's
good at it.
You know, the crowd, they're trying to go with the crowd, you know, because and here's why I think the crowd, as true wrestling fans, has responsibilities. I understand if you really like a guy, it's hard not to cheer a guy. But when you know that he's a heel, just do your part when you're there and fucking boo the guy. I think fans fuck that up.
Yeah.
Because when you have a heel that's so good, they become cool and everybody wants to go with the bad guy. When you watch a slasher movie, you want Jason to kill all those fuckers. You don't give two shits about any of the people that he kills.
Sure, but that leads us into our great.
But that's not what you're supposed to do, you know. You're supposed to root for Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, you know. So
now, like you were saying, with internet stuff, do you feel we're spoiled now with all the dirt sheets that are there? Is this a great
it ruins everything?
Fan? Or was it better before when you had no effing clue what was going on? Yes. You get up in the morning on a Saturday, you turn on the WWE Saturday morning, whatever, and you're like, wow, you get 3 matches, some interviews, and you have no clue what's going on.
Well, they had the hotline that you could call.
Yeah.
So there've always been spoilers. It's just that now they're more accessible. That's what it is.
Yeah, like it sucks that I can't, like, if I'm watching a pay-per-view and I can't watch it live, or they call it premium live events now. It sucks that I can't go on Instagram or I can't go on Twitter/X for the entire day and until I'm finished with the show because I don't want to see a surprise, because all it takes is one person to just post one thing and it automatically explodes, because they don't even hide it. Like they say, like, oh yeah, Strickland is now the new AEW champion, Strickland. Like, damn, thanks for even trying to hide it.
You can blame Mick Foley for that, but I'll get there in a moment. But I mean, with social media nowadays, you can't even get online to check. I don't know. You want to see where your favorite porn star is dancing this week, you know? And you're going to have 8 billion.
How shocking is it that Chris used porn as an example?
Shouldn't be. But I mean, you see where they're dancing, and you see 8 billion updates of everything else. You see all kinds of updates into like Rhea Ripley's life, or like Liv Morgan partying somewhere, you know. And I'm supposed to believe you're on a boat in Catalina with all these ex-divas, but you're plotting the revenge tour.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, everyone, how much better would the Rhea Dom dynamic be if you didn't also go on Instagram and see Rhea with Buddy Matthews,
or Dom with his wife?
Or seeing that, you know, footage of Dom getting married.
Yeah.
You know,
even all that goes back to, like you were saying earlier, about things being spoiled. Do you remember the ultimate spoiler? WWE putting out online, Mick Foley wins the belt this Monday, because you knew everything was taped.
I thought that was WCW that put that, because WCW was live.
Made the announcement live.
They made the announcement because they didn't want people to watch Raw.
But WWE had it on their website a week earlier.
You're right.
So that was an ultimate wrestling moment, but has it morphed into what we have now?
When there's matches that we want to see, when we're all watching them, we mute our chat. Do we not? I know we all have.
Yeah.
I know Joe has. But it's like, I can't talk to Joe until he watches that. You know, you know, but you know what I mean when I'm saying that. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to hear what he has to say about that match. A day or two later, we all know what happened, and he literally is catching up to everything we have talked about.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's old news now. It's not. But, it's like, oh, you missed it. Oh, you missed it. No, I don't like spoiling it for anybody. I really, honestly don't.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm so old school. Like I hate seeing spoilers. Like if I can't watch a Browns game live, I'll record it and then I'll do whatever I can to make sure that I don't hear a damn thing about it.
Sounds like a waste of time, but
yeah, I'm just sorry.
Okay.
Are they all blacked out locally because of attendance for you guys, or what?
Dude, Browns have been one of the worst teams for how long, and they still sell out every game. Come on.
They're the only goddamn team that lost their team, got an expansion, and called it the team they just lost.
Also, they do have a big wrestling fan following, considering half of them are from Cleveland. So they have
3 right off the bat.
Those are the Browns.
Speaking of Cleveland Browns and wrestling, I cannot wait to be at fucking SummerSlam at Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Oh, I want to go so bad, but
Yeah.
I get back from I've got vacation in a month, and then that's a month later, and I can't swing it.
I still have never been to a live event. Ever.
Really?
No.
Don't ever go to the Tacoma Dome out here. It sucks.
I've never been to a live event yet. No
That's
joke.
got to change. No matter what promotion, they're both fun.
Oh yeah,
I've been to multiple,
and they're two totally different kind of shows, man.
Oh yeah.
Like the thing with AEW is when it comes to a lot of their wrestlers is you can take the wrestler out of the indies, but you can't take the indies out of the wrestler.
That's true.
AEW is huge when it comes to indie promotions, and some of the best wrestling shows that I've been to were indie shows, and Cleveland has one of the best ones in AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling. Johnny Gargano, biggest star to come out of there from Cleveland, obviously. You got Ethan Page, Eddie Kingston. So many awesome people have come out of there. Shayna Baszler. And dude, their shows have been some of the best shows that I've been to. And I think that's where AEW is really trying to do is they really appreciate independent indie wrestling, but I think sometimes their flaw is that they apply it too much a little bit, and that's where it kind of like messes up their stories, where I think like they can use the extra help and creative team to help with some of the stories there. I think they do good with the main stories that they want to do. But
they do
compare it to WWE, it is night and day, I think.
I see your point with all the indie story. It is a lot. Sometimes you're like, what? I get it. Well,
I mean, that you just that stadium match that they did, that was just absolute insanity. They took a lot of indie stuff and just put it into their professional big show, and it doesn't always work, but
here's a weird
they're
one.
trying to appeal to such a different audience than what WWE
we're
does.
used to.
Seeing how we're talking about the indies, it's funny how in our own little world, the indie circuit has really bit hard into us. Bobby, what is it? Bobby Casey, I can't remember his YouTube channel. He's a ring announcer. Jersey Joe's brother, the Pop-Tart sniffer, is a ring announcer. His other brother, who looks like Macaulay Culkin, is a wrestler who's won multiple belts. So it's weird to think how much it's gotten interwebbed with everything.
I forgot to tell you guys. I went to that baseball game Saturday. I met Jay Hager.
Oh,
He's there. He is not a big dude at all, honestly. He's not very tall. My bass player, he's 6'4". He was shorter than him. But what I'm getting at is they make him look like he's big on camera. He honestly, I didn't have to look up to him. I was kind of just a little nod up. I'm like, he is not a big dude at all. He really is.
Mm-hmm.
He was wrestling. There's a Ring of Honor guy. I can't remember that guy's name, but Jake Hager was the main event. He had his purple hat on, signing autographs and stuff. He was a nice guy.
Now
That's pretty cool.
here's two weird ones from you guys, and both of these come from the 83 Weeks podcast.
Okay, all right.
Well, first one up, Eric Bischoff said something recently to Conrad. But before we get on that, I was talking about this with Scott in the green room. Is anybody actually worried for Conrad? Have you ever seen any of the 83 Weeks podcasts where he had all those title belts behind him and the exquisite bookcases?
No.
Well, they're gone. So I'm wondering if he had to sell off a bunch of his memorabilia because he bought the ECW arena. Part of me thinks he's living there because of the merch that he sells on his podcast. But anywho, Bischoff said something, and I'm curious about your opinion on this because it really made me go, I think you lost your sight on something. He said during the heyday of the Monday Night Wars, DX was a knockoff of the NWO. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. Have y'all watched?
I'll go last because I was old enough that I remember watching this vividly. I'm a little older. I'm saying they're good enough. I want to hear their opinion first. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
So, have y'all watched the Monday Night War show on Peacock? It's like 6 or 7 episodes. One whole entire episode is devoted to DX. Yes, they were a response to NWO. They really were. Do I prefer DX over NWO? Absolutely. Of course. And I can answer that in 3 letters. HBK, my all-time favorite wrestler. That DX is, aside from like Bullet Club and all that, DX is my favorite faction of all time. The biggest what if story, I think, in my opinion, is whenever they went to WCW show in that tank.
Yep.
Yep.
They would have opened that door. That could have been magic. Granted, there was Kevin Nash on the other side about to beat some ass on the other side of that garage door, but if they were able to work something out, that'd have been incredible. But I encourage everyone to watch that Monday night show. There's actually 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
The DX one is my favorite.
Yeah, that's great.
But all in all, DX was a response to the NWO. So technically, Bischoff is right, but how often is he right about things? I'm a little biased because I can't really stand Bischoff, but I read Next.
Joe?
So my favorite part of NWO was before they really became NWO, when it was just the outsiders. And because for me, that was where the most memorable moments was when you see Scott Hall, then you see Kevin Nash. Obviously, you had the obvious heel turn of Hogan. But, I mean, when he came down, I mean, it wasn't as big.
Do you know who the original third man was supposed to be?
Bret Hart.
It wasn't Hogan. It was
It's Bret Hart.
Sting.
It was Sting.
I thought it was Bret Hart.
Nope.
No.
Bischoff convinced Sting to do it. And after he had flown out to see Hogan, because Hogan was like, nope, my legacy, don't want to do it. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. And he got Sting to do it. Yeah. So a couple days before that pay-per-view aired, Hogan calls him and goes, I want to do it.
Yep.
And Bischoff was like, you motherfucker. Now I got to go call, Sting and go, you're a good guy still.
Yeah.
Yep. I heard about that. It was supposed to have been Sting. Go ahead, Joe.
But that was my favorite part of NWO. Now, obviously, DX, it started as Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and then you had Chyna. And then once, Shawn would leave, you would have Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and stuff like that. But they never had to add guy after guy after guy after guy into that stable to stay relevant. And and you could, you can blame, Eric Bischoff for that, but as he created NWO, but he destroyed it just as good as he created it.
Yeah, okay. Let me counter you with this. Did he really destroy it, or did they eat themselves? Because like I was talking with Scott in the green room.
I think Eric Bischoff will tell you that he destroyed it.
That's because probably he got tired of it, tired of Hogan. But Everything from the monster truck, the Miss NWO with the grandma, who anybody who was attached to the WWE at one point had to be the NWO. Then you had levels of the NWO.
Yeah, Wolfpack.
Yeah, but even then, when they brought the NWO back, to me, DX was different. You never saw the NWO getting flashed during a TV event. You know, they kept DX as we're punk asses. We're here to break all the rules. Fuck you if you can't even handle that. Whereas the NWO
taking over.
I just want to destroy your company because we're here from somewhere up north that we can't talk about to kill you.
And DX, one of my favorite DX moments was the beginning of Raw one night when HBK is reading the list of things that the network said they couldn't say, and then went and read it.
Yeah, it was like a presidential speech or something like that.
Yeah.
Amazing promo.
But everything from
they're censoring everything they're saying. Yeah.
Even the Sergeant Slaughter bit where they brought out the face masks with the windshield wiper going back and forth, or the YouTube
when they reenacted Nation of Domination. Seriously, one of the top 3 funniest moments in WWE.
That Triple H or Shawn Michaels doing the Shane McMahon hobble around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the what's it been turned into, the all classic meme of all time, when your controller gets frozen and Hunter with the slow-mo run across the ring, then turning back, Shawn's just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
See, to me, I agree. I don't think it was a knockoff. I think it was a response. And I think DX did it better. DX did it so much better than the NWO ever did.
NWO was literally the brainchild of Eric Bischoff. He made everything about it. He controlled it all. But he also had Hulk Hogan, who had control of everything in general. The man was a money ego and money maniac. So basically, they were working together. It started out as the 2-man thing, which was great. Hogan was a surprise man. We all know it. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And even the announcers who were in on it, on the story, they're like, who's going to show up next? Who's it going to be next? Because they didn't know. It got old. It honestly got old. They ruined themselves. Do I think they're better than DX? I'm going to say it's like this. It depends on what show you watched. Because my dad, he watched football, but let me get it right. He watched Raw. I watched Nitro in my bedroom, and we would yell at each other, "Turn the channel!" So we know something was going on. And what I'm getting at is it depends on who you wanted, who you liked, which show you liked more. I honestly, I would say it's which coffee, Pepsi and Coke. I really couldn't pick one because I like them both.
Being out here on the West Coast, I was privileged during the Monday Night Wars because Turner always broadcasted live, which was always earlier than WWE. So I could watch Nitro and then go right into the WWE, which we're bringing back Razor and Diesel. Really? Then, Nitro comes on and they're right there. And I'm like, oh, crap. What did they just do?
I will say this.
Do you know who fake Kevin Nash was?
Wasn't that Kane?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the fake Razor, but he didn't last long.
I can't either.
He had another character. I just can't remember what that guy's name was. I don't remember. I can't remember the guy's name. I don't care, but the dude's name, I reference him all the time. That was the ultimate guy right there. Scott Hall. That man, he never changed. Yeah, he obviously had a drug and alcohol problem, which we saw on camera, but he was WCW. He never changed his character. That's who he was the whole time. The other ones you saw saw them go through spikes, and Scott Hall never changed. That man was awesome at what he did.
So fake Razor Ramon was Rick Bogner.
Yeah, he was like a Canadian wrestler or something like that.
Honestly, could pass as a Mel Gibson impressionist.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Speaking of impressionists, Karrion Kross. Who's Jesse Ventura.
That is great.
tell me that's not Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Karrion Kross is great at doing that. So is that comedian. He also does
Will Sasso.
the Macho Man.
Yeah, Will
Will
Sasso.
Sasso's so good.
He does the Bret Hart ones, like classic though. Do you do a Bret Hart? I do. That's all he says. He says 2 words, and I do. It's hilarious. He sounds just like him.
No, I got a weird one.
Will Sasso's Jake the Snake. Oh, if you haven't heard it, it's so good.
Speaking of Snake, you heard what happened when he moved in with Diamond Dallas Page, right?
What happened to Snake when he moved in with him?
He brought the Cobra.
Uh,
All right, so he throws the Cobra in the bathroom, and he's like, all right, let's go drinking.
Yeah.
Where's the Cobra? I don't know. We'll find it later. No, we're going to find it now. So they opened the door to the bathroom. The fucking thing disappeared. It got in the wall and took a vacation. Can you imagine having a roommate who brings a Cobra and just goes, who cares?
That's Jake Roberts for you.
But here's a weird one for you, especially another one from 83 Weeks. It was entitled Eric Bischoff's Top 5 Firings.
Oh
boy.
I'm going to give you number 5 and number 1. Number 3 was weird. Steve Austin. He got fired because he refused to cut a promo and cuss people out. He knew. He knew he was going to get canned. They canned him. Moved on. Number 5 was Brian Pillman. All because of the weird promos he was cutting and the way he was acting backstage. And the fact that Bischoff had to fire him and said it hurt because I generally cared about the guy.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't know, Bischoff and Pillman kept communication lines open during Pillman's run in the WWE, and Pillman was going to jump ship back.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I was deep into watching that because he wrestled his last match, and I remember this because I watched it live. He wrestled Kevin Sullivan, who was the booker, and he didn't really wrestle him. I respect you, Booker Man, and walked out.
Booker
Showed
Man.
like a little bit later with a broken ankle. Yeah, I remember that because he had drug problems. He started going down the wrong path at that time. And WWE knew he could talk. They liked the fact that he was that loose cannon thing, which is what they're trying to make Lexus King sooner or later. That's what they're going to make him. It's going to happen.
Without a doubt. You can already see it happening.
Yeah. So he comes to the WWE, and I knew because he wasn't moving anywhere. He didn't go higher. He just was staying. I said, he's going to go back to WCW. I thought that. I really did. Until you just confirmed it. I thought that the whole time.
But what shocked me was his number 1 firing.
This ought to be good.
The Honky Tonk Man. Bischoff said point blank, I enjoyed firing him because he was a human piece of trash. And I'm like, wow. Someone who's been dressing up as Elvis for how many years, acting like Elvis was your favorite person to fire?
I've read where he was not good to work with at all. At all. I don't know for sure, but from what I've gathered, he's
Bobby,
I
we
don't know.
mentioned you earlier, bro, as a weird thing how in this little beard community, wrestling's tied in, brother. Oh, sorry, wrong one. God damn it, I keep getting you confused, Triple B. Motherfucker. Anyhow. I'm old, shut up.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
We're never going to see him probably in a ring again. I think he kind of screwed up by not showing up at WrestleMania. I know it was over money. That's the only reason why he didn't show up. They couldn't reach a money agreement. That's who should have been there. And I think he knows he screwed up. I really do mean that.
Well, he's chasing around his cat Poncho.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is we all talked about that main event as probably one of the greatest wrestling matches we've ever seen, and we all have said it. The whole build up was worth every time, everything. We all wanted to hear that glass break.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anything about what Mark did because it was great. That would have been the greatest moment to what we have seen as one of the greatest matches in our lifetime right there. If that glass would have broke, that's what the world wanted to see. That.
I agree. Talk about a great flashback with The Rock. Remember when the pager says 316, it means I own your ass?
Well, look at it. Think about it now. Like we called it the Avenger thing because that's what it was. But look. You saw the Usos take each other out. You see Solo comes in, John Cena, The Rock, Steve Austin. That's like the chronological order what you just saw. Think about it. Rock and Austin, Rock and Cena, Roman, Cody. We're going up the ladder of in chronological order. Should have been Austin. He shouldn't have He should have just said, "I'll do it." We're never going to get that opportunity again. Never.
I agree. Now, you guys know I usually run this about an hour, so we're going to kind of close it out on this one. I want, in your lifetime, the biggest bust, any event, any wrestler that's ever happened in your lifetime. And I'm going to start this off with the weird one that's going to be very controversial.
Uh-oh.
Dusty Rhodes in the WWE when he had Sapphire.
That's what we talked about before the guys got in.
Little known fact, and I didn't know this until I watched WWE's Lost Treasures. Dusty didn't want Sapphire. He wanted an African-American hooker as his valet. He wanted the black sensational Sherry. I learned that from Cody.
Biggest bust. Ooh. Oh, I got to think about this one. This is man. Okay.
I could think of one.
Good.
CM Punk and AEW.
I was waiting for that out of you. I really was.
You have a point, though. You do have a point.
That company was made for him, and he fucked it up. That company was made for him. That night when he and Danielson showed up at the same show, I remember I was on my way to Kansas with my mother-in-law and my wife, just refreshing TikTok. Where's the intro? Where is it? I need to see it. And, of course, he jumped in a crowd, broke his ankle or broke his foot that night. And then, that was when Adam Cole showed up. Adam Cole
and Brian were at the pay-per-view. CM Punk showed up at Chicago on Dynamite.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But Punk, like we mentioned earlier, the Punk MJF story with like the dog collar match and everything, all that was great. But I just think Punk got too full of himself because that's what he tends to do, according to various sources. Do I think he'd still be there if everything worked out? Yeah, of course. But Lord only knows what would have happened if he stayed and actually worked well with everyone there. Do I think there were issues from both sides? Of course, it's wrestling. But I just think he was a bust in that company in the long run.
I got one. I'm narrowing it down. I got one, but I think I've got better. Oh.
You got one there, Cousin Joe?
Yes. We have not talked about him yet.
That was the one I was.
The match with Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Because that is considered
one of the biggest recent busts and biggest disappointing. They called it disqualification or no contest in a no disqualification match.
So dumb.
Yeah.
So stupid.
And yeah, that just not letting him roll with his creative mind as much as they should have is a bust. And they missed out on some good opportunities before he passed, I think, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah. That one still hurts. It does. It obviously it hurts you, Joe. We know why, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I was gonna wait. This is the first time I'm actually wearing this shirt since I got it. I was gonna wait and make my first time SummerSlam, but because I love you guys so much,
I almost put on my Okada T-shirt, but I was like, I got a tank top on.
I really miss him. I do. That one, I cried watching that documentary.
Me and Steph we were laying in bed watching it, and both were just sobbing.
I remember watching it because I just switched jobs, and I remember telling you guys, I was like, I get to watch it when it comes on the first showing. I was like, damn. Oh, he has the lantern. That's right. I forgot about that.
And I got the Uncle Howdy mask back there too.
Nice.
I mean, I'm hoping that they don't make this like bad. I really hope they put a lot of effort into whatever this is going to be. We all know something's coming. We just don't know what it is.
I'm scared of Nikki Cross being in there.
They're dragging it out too long right now.
I'm glad that Eric Rowan's back, one of the original family members. They got to do it right. If they fuck it up, it's going to destroy everything.
If they fuck it up, the world's going to let them know. They will know. They will know if it's bad. That was one I was going to say. I have one, but this is because it's kind of a personal one, just because I really like this person. Samoa Joe in the WWE.
Oh.
They had no idea what to do with him. I'm sorry. Joe was a beast.
Look at the thing. This man was fired, brought back in NXT, basically as Regal's consultant, and they did nothing with him. And he was on a match. They took him off. He got hurt. They took him off. The motherfucker is in a poncho at WrestleMania. That's fucking sad. He goes to AEW or Ring of Honor and AEW, wins both their belts. He's saying fuck you to WWE now. The only one he's not saying it to is Hunter, because Hunter wasn't there when they got rid of him.
True.
And you're talking about former. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll tell you another one that I was narrowing it down. Lex Luger in the WWE. That was their All-American guy right there, and they wouldn't give that motherfucker the belt.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of good memories of Luger.
You can't take that. He was the next Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan look-alike wannabe, and they did not pull the fucking trigger on that guy. That dude, he isn't even in the Hall of Fame. That motherfucker, he should be in the Hall. That's a guy who kind of ruined himself. Go watch the movie. You'll see. I dug deep into that story and that family. That is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. The Iron Claw. Kerry Von Erich had a drug problem. They all did, honestly. But that dude, like an idiot, they have rules and stuff now in sports. You can't get on motorcycles and things like that. That's how he lost his foot. He went down the wrong path. The WWE just used him because he was a big name, but after his first year, they saw the decline. They saw he was starting to go into the down path. They took away the name and made him the Texas Tornado because they didn't want to tarnish it. That's why they did that. No one knows that.
Well, here's your last big one for the night before we wrap it up, because some of you guys are on East Coast, and I really appreciate your time. The Warriors run in WCW.
Why'd you even mention that?
You know when they had the smoke when he was trying to get out of the ring, and you could clearly see him getting out of the ring.
The One Warrior Nation, the NWO backwards. Yeah, I
Or
know.
the trap door that actually ended the Bulldog's career because of the Warrior.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
The Shockmaster, what a bust!
Oh God, how can you ever recover from that falling through the wall?
I did. I forgot.
And you see the wrestlers in the back laughing at him on TV.
See, and I thought of another bust, and that's Sting in WWE.
Oh yeah,
his injury really.
Yeah, you can't take that. You can't. He got hurt in the match, and there was nothing they could do. They gave him a chance. They did. But
he should have beaten Triple H.
Trav.
He should have.
I'll tell you one. Another personal one. Because I loved him when he came to NXT. Finn Balor. The dude has still not gotten his opportunity to get that belt.
He's amazing. His presence, his characters are great, but he's brittle. Every time he gets near greatness, something in him breaks. Every time.
Rollins fucked him up. He had to hand it over. He couldn't even raise the title.
Yeah.
That was sad.
That very first draft when he won it.
Do you all know who he beat to get that title shot?
Roman Reigns. Yeah, that's what it was. I was close when I said Samoa Joe.
Well, Samoa Joe cleanly pinned Reigns twice, and I love that promo. He's like, I kicked your ass twice and put you to sleep. I'll do it again.
Wasn't Samoa the first person to beat the Demon, Finn?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, he beat him at a house show on NXT because I remember watching it, and we have a new champion. It comes up, and I'm like, what? You wouldn't broadcast this? That's WWE trying to get, surprise people at a live show, and they did. I remember that. I do remember that.
But on that fun note, I am going to wrap it up here with you guys. I have enjoyed this last hour of just a good old-fashioned bullshit live stream talking things we love. Wrestling has been a passion for a lot of people. I grew up in Connecticut. To be honest, I never even knew WCW existed for a while.
McMahon guy the whole time. He never told us. There it is. See?
I'm saying, grew up in Connecticut. Connecticut's only been a state for 200 years.
Right? I was there when it was founded. What's your point? Who do you think helped lay the boundaries? But, it's been a passion for all of us. All of us have memorabilia laying around. I've been collecting plaques or artwork recently with pieces of the ring in there that are numbered and certified. I even gave Scott one because he's my friend. He deserves it. His son is named after an amazing wrestler, and fuck him. We just tolerate him.
Cameron Pam is like he's like my right hand man. He is.
I was at the first Forbidden Door. Damn it!
And he likes Okada. He does. I was going to say it wrong every
He's
time.
your right hand man in more ways than one.
Not just saying, with those fun things. But guys, thank you so much for this. All of you who have watched this, thank you. Those of you who are on the replay squad, make sure you hashtag replay squad. Leave some of your memories in the comments. Because wrestling, while it changes, those memories will last with you a lifetime. Things from the breaking glass, the I am a real American, or even something stupid as I'm an all-American American. Yeah.
Or just the sound of a gong.
Exactly. These are things that you treasure, you pass down. I'm teaching my kids these things. It's amazing. But we do throw this out there. Anybody want to have a last word to go around?
Yeah. The next time we do this, whenever that may be, soon or whenever, I think we should dedicate a show because it's still fresh and everything to the Bloodline Cody story. I think we all should do that because I'm saying it on camera, and I know that's probably the greatest wrestling story I think I've seen in my lifetime.
You finished the fucking story.
I really do.
I mean, I think the bloodline in general, you know, even before Cody, is the greatest wrestling story ever.
It's definitely up there.
I think we should make that a topic for the night because, or that's a big one. That's a big topic.
Yeah.
It is. Another one is the story of the Undertaker, because that's a story on its own. Bray Wyatt's story of its own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we should.
The Rock's production company is coming out with Who Killed WCW, I believe, this week.
I have been seeing a lot of posts about that in the past 2 days, so that must be coming out soon.
Yeah, it's in the next week or so, I believe.
Because the people who do Dark Side of the Ring, they've been on Vice TV. They've been promoting the hell out of it.
Okay.
If you enjoyed Heels on Stars, it's
moving
moving
to Netflix.
to Netflix. Go watch it. They claim if it gets big ratings, they're going to produce season 3.
Oh, is it on Netflix now?
It's going to be.
Soon. Very, very soon it's coming.
Oh, thank God, because I've never got Stars to watch it.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Ah, good. Good. I want to watch it.
Sweet.
They left it on a cliffhanger. That's why we need season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so basically they want people to tune in and watch it on such and such because they want the demand to pay for it, basically.
Yeah, Stars dropped the ball when they killed it. That's my opinion. But that's another show.
Mm-hmm.
On that fun note, guys, I want to thank everyone. Take some time this week. Take care of yourself. Laugh a little more. Talk to people you haven't talked to in a while. Get outside your comfort zone. Try something new. I don't know. Tell Camo you like him. I'm not going to do it. Somebody has to. It's not going to be me.
I love Camo Game.
You know?
I try to be likable.
Chris, thank you. Chris, thank you for getting some of us together to do this. It's been long overdue. I've enjoyed having these two guys here, especially that sexy looking 5 o'clock shadow over there. I love seeing that face. Haven't seen it.
I had to. Sorry if this gets taken down now by YouTube. I forgot how the rules go now.
Oh, I don't care. It was worth it alone.
I had to dust some cobwebs off my camera and my mic.
Appreciate you having us, Chris. This was fun. It was a good time.
Absolutely.
I loved it. I'm glad I reached out to you, Scott, and said, let's do this.
Yeah.
Just
get to nerd out about this stuff.
Set another date, and I'm in.
Hell yeah. But like I say in every single video, guys, I hope you're having a safe day today. Hope you're having a great day today. And we'll see all of you in our next video.